hello. Hello, hello, hello. Hi, welcome. Welcome, welcome. Hello. Hello. Hi, everyone. Hi, hi, hi. Welcome to Cherry Chat. I'm your host, Meg. I'm speaking with the very talented Sepideh Moafi today, who stars in Blackbird on Apple TV+. The finale episode actually airs this Friday or Thursday night, depending on where you are. But it's been a riveting mini-series, and Sepideh is so extraordinary in it. So I'm so excited to chat with her today. You also know her from the amazing show, the L Word Generation Q, which is coming back at some point. So that's very exciting. Hello, hello, everyone. Welcome. Thank you so much for joining me today. Hello, happy Wednesday. We're halfway there, everyone. We got this. We got this. Hello, hello. So happy to see y'all here. How's everyone doing? What's everyone watching? Besides watching Sepideh in Blackbird, obviously. Hello, hello. I hope everyone's doing well. Sending love. Hello from Mexico. Hi from Mexico. Hello, hello. Wonderful to see all the love. Very excited to talk to Sepideh. Hello, hello. She's so fantastic in Blackbird, and it's such a great show. It's going to be sad to see it gone. Hello. Oh, I know. Netflix did cancel First Kill. I mean, I don't know what's going on. There's a lot of crappy cancellations happening out there. Bums us out. But we can rejoice in the great content that we have. Like Blackbird, she is amazing. She's such a talent. Hello from the United Kingdom. What time is it there? Oh, we have Sepideh. Amazing. Hi, Caitlin. Let's get her. I'm coming for ya. Give me 1 second. Gonna find you. It sounds so creepy. Okay. Hi, everyone. Thank you. Thank you. There we go. There she is. Do my waiting to connect dance. Works every time. Hello.
Hello. Hi. How are you? Uh-oh, am I sideways?
You're in the upside down. Yeah, you are.
Okay, here we go. All right. I have like a...
There we go.
Okay, is that better? Hold on. I might need to...
Oh, no, that's absolutely better.
Here. There we go. How's that?
Oh, no, that's perfect. Perfection.
Great. Hi.
How are you?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Oh my gosh, I'm so great because I get to talk with you today. What a pleasure.
You're so sweet. Pleasure is mine.
Oh my goodness. I just want to say congratulations on all the well-deserved success, the critical acclaim of Blackbird. I was just telling everyone before you joined, it's been such a riveting show to watch. Yeah. And so I just want to send the congrats your way. So well-deserved.
Thank you. Thank you.
But before we get into that,
yeah,
I would love to know, let's take it back. How and when did you first fall in love with storytelling?
That's a good question. I mean, I'm sure I fell in love with it earlier than I could recognize.
Ooh, yeah.
But I think I found... So I didn't really know my place. I think with many of us, we don't really know our place in the world until we find what we're passionate about or what we respond to. And for me, well into my teens, I didn't feel like I was really good at anything, but I knew what I clicked with. And I clicked with languages and I clicked with stories. Oh. And so my first sort of introduction into the arts world was music, classical music, which I fell in love with. And the first piece of music that I fell in love with was Rimsky-Korsakov's Scheherazade. So,
yes, so wow.
Yeah, so I could hear these sort of like, these sort of like melismas and more Oriental themes. And, that to me sparked my imagination, and coupled with the nightly bedtime stories that my mom would tell me that were unique to our culture. I felt like these were worlds. It was kind of not rough. I had a good childhood with lots of love from my family, but it was rough outside of my family. And so stories are where I felt free and I felt like I belonged.
Yeah,
And so
felt
once
safe.
totally. So it was kind of complicated because I don't know what came first, if it was the stories or if it was the music that sparked the stories in my head. But both of these things came at the same time when I was around, I think like 6 or 7. But you know, those early years are all kind of a blur.
Yeah, well, that's so beautiful. I had no idea about the musical kind of background and passion. And it sounds like, yeah, it sounds like it was a combination that sort of sparked your imagination. And that's when the like dreaming began and like the creativity, and how lovely. That's why I love to ask that question, because I feel like we all have a kind of different stories sometimes about how the arts kind of touched us. And sometimes it's earlier for some people, later for others. But what a beautiful story. Thank you for sharing that.
Thanks.
Okay, let's get into it. The finale of Blackbird. It's coming out. We have it this Friday, or 9 p.m., 12 p.m. on Thursday, depending on what's available. So I never like just to say Friday.
Totally. I mean, I'm having a watch party. I'm finally back in New York, and I'm having a watch party with just a few close friends on Friday. And one of my friends was like, "Oh God, does this mean I have to wait? I can't watch it on Thursday because there's a global drop, right, at 12 p.m." And so that means Thursday for many of us.
100%. It means Thursday for me. And I always get confused. My husband and I, because we have our shows that we watch together. Blackbird's one of those shows that we both love, which is like so rare. I'm telling you, it's so rare.
Wow.
And I'm always like Friday, Thursday, Friday. But anyways, that's so fun that you get to do the watch party. I was going to say, if you're doing anything to celebrate, that's very fun. I'll be thinking of you on Friday and your friends watching.
Thank you.
What has playing Macaulay, being part of this series, what has it taught you most about yourself?
One of the first things that I identified with Macaulay was her sort of like, she gets bit by the bug and kind of myopic, like one-track mind when she is passionate about something, when she believes in something, and with her work. And often that happens for me with work. And like character work especially. So with her, it's her commitment to justice, her commitment to, you know, cracking these cases. And in her way, she takes a creative approach, as many special agents have to, right? You have to think outside of the box. And that was another in for me, is that there is a somewhat artistic way of going about your work, is that she has to think of all of her cases, which can be anywhere from, you know, 2 or 3 to 33 cases at once. And so that moment in the pilot episode, in the first episode, where you see this seed of an idea begin to form, you know, when she's in at Jimmy's sentencing, and she ties these 2 cases together, that for me was an in that she does think outside of the box, and she is kind of an artist in a way. But the thing for me that really captivates me about her is just, I think we're all, and I've spoken about this a lot because it's true that a lot of women can relate to this, you know, having to fight extra hard, especially in workplaces that are predominantly male. And you see her evolution to a certain degree from the earlier parts of the story. It's not, you know, chronological, so it's not about the earlier episodes. It's kind of, we hop all over the place in each episode. But in the early 90s, you'll see she has more of her natural look. There's something sort of like, you know, childlike and buoyant about her. And then she finds a way of being that just works for the world that she works in, where it's like this presentation of, can I swear on this, by the way?
Yeah, I mean, okay. It's okay.
Okay,
warning.
Well, I'll keep it.
Just say warning.
No, I don't have to. It's okay. I just have a potty mouth, so I'm trying to check this out. No, she just doesn't give a damn about, you know, what people think. She has to, which is why I love that moment in episode 3 where you see, you know, the curtain kind of fall, and she's actually genuinely concerned for Jimmy, because she has to present that she doesn't care. She doesn't give a damn. And so I don't know, I have a lot of empathy for her in a way, because that's a tough space to work in. And throughout my research process, I spoke to a couple women who were like, no, it was never a thing for me. And then I spoke to a couple of women, and I read a lot of testimonials and, passages from books and whatnot, where women were heavily discriminated against.
Yeah.
And still are, there have been lawsuits actually against the FBI for this reason. And so I think the fact that she is, she always kind of knows who she is inside, but she allows herself to change depending on what she needs and depending on who she's interacting with.
That adaptability that we have learned to just live with, I think.
And we all do it.
We all do it. We all do it. And it's like, it's crazy. And it's across all industries. Needing to, I mean, especially in the case of Macaulay, like having to be laser focused and thinking of 20 million things, like you mentioned, at the same time, and connecting all of the dots. It's really admirable, and it's really interesting and meaty to watch.
It's interesting to play,
Yeah, I love that. I read a great article with you. I'm not sure how recent it was, but about how the series does not exploit the real life victims. And I thought, wow, that is so, what an important part of this series. I would love, if you don't mind, if you could elaborate on that and sort of the importance of not showing the violence and leaning more into the psychological thriller aspect. Because I was like, it kind of opened my eyes a little bit, and I go, wow, I didn't actually realize I was sort of watching it unfold this way, and how refreshing and important that it does that.
Totally. And it depends on what kind of entertainment you're in for. You know what I mean? Like, as hard as it was to watch, I loved Squid Game. That was grotesque. You know what I mean? That was so hard to watch, but it was very entertaining, and something that I love about this show. And I'm so proud to be part of it for a number of reasons. But one thing that I don't know what the right word is to describe it, but there's something classy about it, is that, and something that's like, we have been exposed to so much in our lives. We've all gone through so much in our lives. Do we really need to see? I mean, I think sometimes it's important to get in touch with the reality of the situation and to see things that you don't want to see, to confront things you don't want to see. But this is such a difficult subject, right? We're talking about the rape and the murders of young girls. Yeah. And the way that Dennis goes about it is, he creates these images. Going back to your first question about storytelling, your imagination fills in anything beyond what you've ever seen, and so he allows the audience to fill it in based on what we know, what we've seen, and have a personal experience and a personal relationship to this. At the same time, now that episode 5 has aired, I can say that, that entire episode is sort of wrapped in one of the victims' stories, like her joy, really.
Yeah, I was going to say, yeah.
Yeah. And so I don't want to speak to all television, and film, but rarely do you get that voice from the victim, once they're gone, it becomes about the case. And so I really appreciated the fact that we did sort of dedicate the episode to what made her life, her short life, beautiful and memorable. And, the real vivid, just really difficult monologues that Paul Walter Hauser carried in that as Larry Hall, and Jimmy Keane. It was so hard. At the table read, I was sobbing. Many of us were. It was really hard. We had to take a break because it was just so difficult to listen to, you know?
I can only imagine, but I think you were kind of saying earlier when you were speaking to your character about how she has to find sort of creative ways, how she has to think outside the box. And I think that's what your showrunner, your creator has done in this series.
Totally.
Of a way to be gut-wrenching and to pull at your heartstrings without exploiting the victims. Yeah. And I thought it was so powerful, episode 5, the voiceover, Jessica Roach saying, "You can die, but you can't unlive."
Makes you want
Oh
to
my,
cry.
I have chills thinking about it. That really hit me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
It's making me emotional right now.
mhm.
It's so real, you know. It's just, and that's the thing that I think, again, this is kudos for Dennis, is that he trusts his audience, and he took a risk
Yeah.
by making that episode, because it was really dancing on the razor's edge. You know, it could have, you know, failed. And that's what
Mhm.
good art is, in my opinion. And that's the art that I respond
Yeah.
to and that I try to create myself. Is I try to take risks. I respond to artists who really take risks and who aren't afraid of failing, because that's what it takes. It takes, like, you know, you have to follow your instinct, which is another thing that Macaulay does
Mhm.
so beautifully, is she has a gut feeling about something, and then, you know, she will not let up. She will
Mhm.
find ways to get to the root of where this feeling is coming from and what it means.
I think audiences are loving it. I think audiences can sniff out the BS.
Yeah.
I think that again, you also brought this up, that Dennis trusted his audience,
Yeah.
saying, I think y'all are smart enough to
Yeah.
understand what's going on here. And I think we're seeing more of that. And I think we're seeing how shows and films are rewarded for that, for those risks, because there is a beauty in failure. And failing is good. It leads to possibilities that we can never imagine.
Yeah.
And I'm just so glad that he didn't he wasn't persuaded, that he stuck with his
Yes.
guns. And I think that it's just, yeah, it's really rewarding. Well, what an incredible series. And like we said, we've got the finale, which I think we're all wanting to come, but we all will be sad when it's over. You know how it goes.
Yeah, totally. Totally. But
But
the nice
I would
thing
love,
is you can watch it all again. I mean, that's what I do. I'm really not plugging the show here, but any show that I love, I go back and I watch it again.
you find different things,
Totally.
especially after like interviews like this, like everyone that's watching, hearing
Yeah.
what you're saying in the process, and learning about the development of the character. Go back and kind of find those moments, and I
Yes.
think that's fun.
Yeah.
Let's talk really quickly about the L Word Generation Q, which I can see we have a lot of fans watching right now. Oh my goodness. Did we film next season, or are we in the process? Is it where are we at?
Yeah, we're in the process of filming the third season, and yeah, I can't.
Yeah, you can't say
much
anything
because it's spoilers, and there's so much happening this season. But yeah, I think we're taking big risks and making big choices. So that's exciting. Anytime I can be part of that kind of process, risk-taking process.
Oh my gosh, especially in the third season too. Like
Yeah.
seeing
Yeah.
that's where the creatives are going,
Yeah.
and how has it been working on that show? Has it been a collaborative journey for you? Like, what stands out in your mind when it comes to, you know, working on it, preparing for it, all of
Yeah.
that?
There's so much to say here. The reason why I mean, it was kind of a no-brainer why I wanted to sign on to the show. I was a big fan of the original.
Mm-hmm.
And again, going back to what I said earlier and keep saying, I just felt like they were taking risks, especially at that time. You know, it was the only show of its kind, and it still kind of is the only show of its kind, which is why I think we have such a loving, loyal fan base who are so committed to it, because it's an important show. It has an important legacy.
Yeah.
And I was excited because I hadn't seen a character like Gigi before. And there was room for me to create a lot with Gigi. And it was one of those roles where at first I did the whole thing. I personally, on my downtime, which isn't much, I'm kind of a real estate nerd. I love to look at like listings and like it's very sort of basic of me, but it kind of clears my mind. And so when I found out that Gigi was a broker, that she's a real estate agent, I was excited because I'm like, okay, now I have a reason. Now I have an excuse to talk to all of my real estate. And so I did. That was kind of the extent of my research process with her. And then a lot of it was what I found sort of in the process of making it. And that's the cool thing about having space, having collaborators who trust you and giving you space is like you get to listen to that. You can plan all you want as an actor, you know? And I think, again, different roles differ. For Lauren, I had a rigorous preparation process. For me, the physical training aspect was really just about how she felt in the world. Like, how did she train in order to remain in that sort of FBI shape? And where did she keep her tension in her body? Where does she hold it? How does she release her tension? How does she breathe? But then most of it was just like the sort of the preparation of really just like, what does it mean to be an FBI agent?
Which she's got great posture.
She's got great. That's good. I'm glad to hear that. But no, and then with Gigi, it was different because it's how the like music, I think, with different scripts and different characters, they hit you in different ways and hit your body. And so the way that Gigi moves and she talks, and it's might be imperceptible. I don't know. I don't like to watch my work in general, but I do know enough about Gigi is that like where she feels in my body and my chest, and like it's different, right, from characters. And so I think with her, that process has just been a very as with all characters, emotional, physical, psychological journey. But with her in particular, it's like there's something really grounded about her that I love, and something very
like a connection to the earth, sort of.
Yes.
And like, she's like kind of in touch with her body, sort of.
Totally. And I feel like maybe I'm revealing too much about myself, but I'm not as smooth as Gigi. You know what I mean? Like,
well, that's the fun though, stepping into the shoes.
Totally. And so it's fun to be, because then you learn about your characters. Your characters take from you, right? Because they're using your body, and you take from your characters. So things that I've taken in my life and kind of held on to from Gigi, it's just fun. It's fun being able to dip in and out of these different worlds.
Yeah, I can tell. I can like the joy is like coming off of the screen.
Thank you.
And I love it. That kind of joy is contagious. Being able to do what you love is just what a beautiful thing. You are such a beautiful human. Thank you so much for joining me today. This has been really lovely.
It's been lovely for me. Thank you so much for having me.
Oh my gosh, really. I could talk for hours. But,
I know. I was like, wow.
I forget we're like on a live. It just like it's crazy. But oh my gosh, we have Blackbird, the finale coming up Thursday or Friday, depending on when you would like to watch on Apple TV Plus, and we will look forward to seeing what Gigi is up to in season 3. Thank you so much for today.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Mwah. Sending you love.
Sending you love. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye, everybody. Thank you for joining. Bye.